For this video, I will be talking about Contra 3: The Alien Wars, my favorite entry in Konami's Contra series, a series best known for its side-scrolling shooting games. Contra 3 consists of side-scrolling platforming stages and top-down Mode 7 stages. The premise of Contra 3 is that a powerful alien named Red Falcon and its army of aliens invade the Earth in the year 2636 and launch an attack that devastates the Earth. Out to put a stop to the Red Falcon and its army are the two heroes of the preceding Contra games, Special Forces soldiers named Bill Riser and Lance Bean. I will now talk about the gameplay. My favorite thing about the gameplay is the deep and smooth shooting component. Firstly, the player can hold the shot button down for repeated fire instead of repeatedly tapping the shot button, reducing the need to focus on the shot button. Secondly, the shooting has great range due to the player being able to fire horizontally, vertically, and diagonally. Thirdly, while the player character normally moves forward while aiming diagonally, the player can press a button to have their character stand in place while shooting, thus making shooting diagonally more convenient. Fourthly, the weapons upgrades are fun and are varied. My favorites are the Crash Gun, which fires explosive rounds, and the iconic Spread Gun. The fifth thing that I love about the shooting component is the fact that the player carries two guns, which is great because this way the player can save a special weapon for when it is deemed most useful, and the player can have a backup special weapon in case they lose one, reducing the frustration of losing a special weapon. There is an attack where the player's character jumps and shoots both guns at once while spinning through the air. I think this is fun to watch, but I don't find the move especially useful. I love the bombs, which damage all on-screen enemies, and the barrier pickup, which makes whoever picks it up temporarily invincible. The game's primary playstyle, side-scrolling platforming, is smooth and fast-paced, and includes a wide variety of great platforming elements. The platforming elements I especially love are the climbing and hanging mechanics, because they add depth and add a sense of danger, especially above holes or hazards. The game's secondary playstyle, the top-down stages, are a great way to add variety to the game and a great use of Mode 7. The rotation in the top-down stages is smooth, the ability to rotate at two different speeds is a great feature, and there is a large degree of freedom of movement. In addition, the top-down stages allow for awesome boss fights that would not be possible in side-scrolling mode. My only real problem with the whole game is that it has limited continues. I will now talk about the stages. The stages are well designed, look great, and take place in environments that fit well in a post-apocalyptic alien-busting adventure. The enemies are well drawn and imaginative, and their intimidating appearances add danger and intimidation to the game. I love that the explosions and attacks are over the top and as a result add an action movie feel to the game, therefore adding to the fun of the game. The music is great too. It adds to the post-apocalyptic atmosphere, goes well with the dangerous and deadly obstacles and enemies, and adds a sense of excitement. My favorite songs include the first stage song, the air battle stage song, and the top-down cliff stage song. On the subject of music, the game's stage clear theme is very satisfying to hear and a great mix of the original Contra's stage clear theme. I will now talk about the boss battles. The mid-bosses and main bosses are intimidating, imaginative, varied, and challenging. I love the music that plays during main boss battles. It goes well with the intimidating designs and attacks of the main bosses and creates a dangerous and unsettling atmosphere. I love all the battles. My favorites include the giant robot in Stage 3 and an airship in the air battle stage that the players fight while hanging from missiles and jumping from missile to missile. I will now talk about the final stage of the game. I love the final stage because of the unsettling music, environment, and atmosphere, the mid-bosses, the callbacks to the preceding Contra games, and the final battle. I love that bosses from the preceding Contra games appear as the mid-bosses in the stage because it makes for great Contra fan service and it shows that Red Falcon is willing to go all out to defeat the two heroes. The final battle against Red Falcon itself is fun because of its detailed, imaginative, and intimidating design in the first phase, the fast-paced action and variety of the second phase, which is against Red Falcon's brain, and the third phase, which only happens on hard mode. I will only talk about the hard mode version of the final battle. Between the second and third phases, the heroes grab the bottom of their helicopter and are carried out through a shaft above Red Falcon's seemingly dead brain. Red Falcon then makes a last-ditch effort to kill the heroes, wherein it puts on a shell and climbs up the shaft after the helicopter, ruining the heroes' feeling of victory and reinforcing the fact that it intends to go all out against the two heroes. This phase is fun because the heroes fight while hanging from a helicopter, adding tension and excitement. Red Falcon's attacks are intense, and the lack of music adds a sense of hopelessness. These reasons are also why winning the phase is so very satisfying. I will now talk about the hard mode ending. I love the montage of photos, some of which reference the preceding Contra games. I also love the satisfying message during the montage, the triumphant and beautiful ending song, and the credit sequence, which shows the heroes flying through the air, then landing near a crowd of cheering people. The final screen, which shows the two heroes in army uniforms, is a great touch too. Overall, Contra 3 remains a strong entry in Konami's Contra series and a timeless classic, with its deep, well-crafted, fast-paced, varied, and exciting gameplay, and its great graphics and great soundtrack. That concludes my review of Contra 3 The Alien Wars. Take care.